What's going on, family? It's your man Unspoken, back again with another video, and we're starting a new topic today. And for this is going to be my first actual review of a TV show. So it's going to be on a playlist that's going to be on my channel called Unspoken Reviews. If you guys want to head down there and check the playlist, you'll find all videos on there from now on, reviewing anything from just movies to television shows. It's going to be a new thing for me, but it's something that I really wanted to break into, and I thought of nothing better to start with than X-Men 97. All right, guys. So yes, I grew up in the 90s. I'm 35 years old. So X-Men, the animated series, was one of those top tier animated shows that was going on back in my era when I was a kid. It was a show that I did not miss. I didn't miss that. I didn't miss Batman the animated series, and I didn't miss Spider-Man the animated series. Okay, they were, all three of those were just those big shows that I constantly watched every single time they came on TV. And I was always sad the way that X-Men ended, and then we never really got a big resolve of what happens after Xavier is taken away by the Shi'ar Empire after he's wounded. So it was a real big breath of fresh air when I found out that they were doing X-Men 97 and reviving the franchise and trying to do something amazing with it, especially after what we've seen from, the Fox X-Men movies. Some of them were great, some of them weren't, some of them were in the middle, but we all kind of missed that animated flow that was back in the 90s. So, but first off, let me tell you guys a big thing that even before this show was announced, long before this even became an idea, I was a big fan of the X-Men audio drama. Now, if you guys don't know anything about that, I implore you to check it out. It is an amazing audio drama. It's like, if you guys like audiobooks or superhero audiobooks, it is like a whole 4 seasons of nothing but X-Men stories. Okay, it's actually videos made by Scythe Inc. Excuse me if I got it wrong, but these guys are amazing. They have been doing this for a few years now. I actually did not find it until they were on their 3rd season, right? Like the beginning of the 3rd season. And then I actually went back and found out it was like maybe 3 or 4 years since they started it. This was years, I think it was back in 2020 or 2021 or 2019 or something like that when I found out about them. But they were doing it years prior. And they start out with just like the original X-Men team that included like Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, Jean, Angel. And they're just the first couple X-Men. Xavier brings them in. They go up against Magneto, and it is just an amazing emotional ride. They're all the action. They have like complete descriptions. All the voice actors are amazing. The voice actor that does Magneto on that show is amazing. Now, I didn't come to talk about that, but I'll tell you why. I wanted to bring it up, but I will drop a link in the description of the video below so you guys can check that out. Please support them. They've done everything from X-Men, Power Rangers. They have like a whole Power Ranger season. I think they're on like their 4th season of that. They actually have a spinoff from Masked Rider that they're doing right now. I think they're 3 episodes in on that. And they have a new show they have on there that I haven't had a chance to check out yet, but they also started Avengers a little while ago. So if you guys are looking for some great superhero audio, maybe you guys got office work or warehouse work and you want something to just listen to, I'm telling you, check it out. It'll be in the link will be in the description. Check them out. They're awesome, man. Shout out to them. All right, so I got off work at 3 o'clock in the morning last night or this morning, and I was able to tune in right when the show came on. And I got to tell you, man, shout out to, I'm surprised to say this, with Disney and Marvel, because I know the way their shows have been lately. I was worried that this wasn't going to be as great as it could have been, but they knocked it out of the park. The intro for the show was amazing. They came up with kind of the same intro. It's a little bit different, and it doesn't really take away. Okay, I'm only going to do like a review of it right now, and towards the end, I'm going to do a spoiler, which kind of gives off little details here and there about the story, because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I'll let you know and give you a warning when I'm going to go to spoilers, so that way you guys aren't ruined and you guys might want to come back and just watch the show. All right, so we pick up exactly right where they left off at. It was a great show. There a lot of people were worried about certain things, like certain wokeness. To me, X-Men has always kind of been woke, but it's not as bad as you would think. It's not in your face like that. It's just kind of hinted at, but it's not terrible. But it's always been like that. X-Men has always been the kind of show that always has been aimed at, the certain type of minorities or people that feel like outcasts for a reason. And it's always worked like that for a reason. So if anybody was mad about certain binary characters or non-binary characters, I can assure you that in the series right now in this first episode, it's not a thing. Okay, but we definitely pick up where they left off. You can definitely feel the impact of Xavier not being there. You know, each of the X-Men is kind of feeling it their own way. They're still each battling with their own inner demons and things that they're trying to figure out. You know, Jean is pregnant, which is not a spoiler because you see it in the trailer. But there has been some conversations about whether or not some people want to stay being X-Men. You know, it's a great story. The fight scenes were amazing. There are characters that are given justice that were not given justice in certain iterations of the X-Men that get some justice. You know, it is just amazing battle sequences, great team combo attacks, things that are like that you might see a little bit of in the animated series prior, but now they're kind of ramping it up a little bit more. And it was just overall a good show. It was a great intro. You know, there are some emotional beats. There are some hints that there are something darker going on that might be coming towards the team. And definitely the ending was amazing. It's not a spoiler, you've seen it, but it was definitely a in-your-face kind of moment that is going to be interesting watching the X-Men move forward throughout it, trying to figure out how they're going to adapt through it. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into my spoilers here. So you've been warned. If you don't want it to be spoiled, you know, stop right here, come back, watch the show, and then, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, so there's your warning. All right, here are the spoilers. So it picks up right after Xavier leaves, and, you know, the Friends of Humanity, who is actually a group that's against mutant kind, end up kidnapping Robert Da Costa. Now, if you guys don't know who Robert Da Costa is, he's actually Sunspot in the comics. He's becomes part of the New Mutants. He basically absorbs solar energy, and it can pretty much help him turn into pretty much this pillar of fire or whatever, and he gets stronger and whatever. But he's not fighting them. You know, he's not trying to, you know, go at them or anything, but they still want to take him in, and he's trying to pay them off to let him go because, you know, he has his reasons for it, and I'll explain that later on. But Storm and Bishop arrive, and, you know, Storm comes in with her, you know, those majestic big announcements, you know, Storm, the goddess, you know, she comes down, and she's just like, you know, throwing lightning around. Bishop comes in, he's throwing his blast around, absorbing attacks, throwing them back. Great start fight scene. Yeah, my boy Cyclops, he came in. Listen, a lot of people don't really notice, but Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men. Like, I have to say that leader for a reason, because the way he was treated in the Fox X-Men movies does not do him justice. You know, he was taking a backseat a lot towards Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and in this series, they definitely pick up on that. A lot of people don't realize he's on Captain America level status. This dude is not just a great leader, he's a great tactician. All right, this man always has plans on top of plans. He memorizes all his opponents' and team members' strengths and weaknesses in a way to help him surgically carve out a plan every single time things change in a fight. Okay, people don't really know that this is how amazing Cyclops is. This dude comes in, he's throwing optic blasts around, he's doing defensive combo attack. He's not just using his visor, he's actually punching these dudes out, blocking on the defense, counterattacking. He was using his beam to dodge attacks. Like, if they would shoot at him, he would shoot his beam and it would slide him across the room out of the way. I was like, oh shit, they're doing my boy some justice in this show. All right, he came back swinging in this show. They definitely did him some justice. I was very happy with it. You know, we even got the little nod scene that was also, you know, you saw it on the TV spots here and there, but it was great to go back and visit it. You know, it was pretty awesome. So, you know, they end up taking Da Costa back to, you know, the X Mansion. And, you know, they're, like I said, they're feeling the brunt of Xavier being gone. You know, Scott's wondering if he's doing the right thing by his dream, keeping it alive, if he's, you know, keeping the team together. You know, of course, Gambit and Rogue are still being themselves. Gambit's still being an asshole. He doesn't really, you know, fall in line. You know, that's how he's always been. Rogue is also a little nonchalant. You know, they were upset that they didn't show up or whatever to help out, but they were just like, ah, you got this. You know, you don't really need us that much. And, of course, you know, Jean is pregnant, and her and Scott are wondering if it may be their time to leave the school behind. You know, I also like the portrait of, they had the original 5 X-Men up there on the wall that Xavier had up there with him taking a picture of them. And, you know, they're just wondering if maybe having the baby is excusing them from being X-Men, and maybe it's time to walk away. This isn't lost on Wolverine. He actually knows this and figures this out. As a matter of fact, we get a great scare scene from him when DaCosta, Jubilee takes DaCosta into, the danger room. DaCosta didn't really want to help the X-Men. It's like he wasn't trying to give them any information. He wasn't trying to talk to them. He just wanted to pay them off and leave so he can get out. Apparently, his parents do not know he's a mutant, and he's trying to keep that information as quiet as possible. So that way, he doesn't like the idea of being different, which we all know in any kind of X-Men, lore or whatever, that never works out. Okay. He just thinks it's going to work out. So, they end up going to this party scene and track him down. And this was something that I was happy about. They had a real cool scene between Morph and Wolverine where Morph was trying to explain, trying to really pick apart where Logan was. Now, I wanted to bring up Morph because a lot of people were mad at the character because he was supposed to represent as non-binary. That never bothered me, okay? It never bothers me that he's non-binary, okay? I just want to put that out there because here's the deal. I don't care about characters that are non-binary, transgender this, transgender that, lesbian, bisexual, gay. I don't care about that. All I care about is good writing. But if a character uses their sexuality as a defense mechanism in an argument, then we got a problem, okay? That's when it becomes an issue. Unless it is directed at that, I don't want to hear about it, okay? As long as the character doesn't use that as every little pillar of every little argument, it works for me, okay? I'm fine with it. All I care about is good writing and, good direction with the characters, all right? So he ends up trying to help Wolverine get past this part. He ends up transforming into Wolverine and all that stuff. He still looks like Morph, the regular Morph we know from the animated series when they're out and about. But, he still does that, that face thing where he's just kind of looks, no facial features at all, no nose or anything like that when he's at the mansion. So he does know when to change up when he's out and about. So Jubilee kind of does feel some kind of feelings for DaCosta and tries to understand where he's at. She even dances with him a little bit. And, it kind of helps him open up a little bit to her. And that's when he does tell her that they don't know she's a mutant. But the Friends of Humanity end up actually coming looking for them at the party. And good thing that Wolverine, Gambit, and Logan were there because they were able to... Wolverine, Gambit, and Logan. Wolverine, Gambit, and Rogue were there because they were able to, intercept them and scare them off. But they ended up... so they didn't find anything useful from them because they disappeared. So Cyclops... so Trask has been missing for a while. So who they would usually go to find out if he knew anything, they can't find him. So they end up going to Gyrick. So Cyclops, Storm, and Bishop all go to interrogate Gyrick after he tried to assassinate Xavier. And at first, he's not talking. They even offer him a couple years off his prison sentence because apparently the UN has been working with the mutants. They've been trying to give them some leeway to help control the mutant problem, or if there is any issue with mutants or towards mutants, they're allowed to act in order to protect them. So Gyrick doesn't want to open up. He doesn't want to talk about it. So Jean tries to use Cerebro to get into his mind. And there's a split second where she says, wait, there's someone else. And she ends up getting pulled into this whole space in her mind where she's seeing all these different visions of things that might potentially happen. She sees like Master Mold and a skeleton head of Master Mold. Just the part where I said that something darker might be coming for them. That's where the hint is. All right. So they end up tracking down where... Trask is hiding, and apparently he has a shit ton of Sentinels, and the Sentinels end up attacking the ship or the plane. The plane gets torn to pieces. Cyclops gets grabbed up where he ends up shooting off the Sentinel's head, and they're all free falling and falling down to the sky. Morph transforms into Angel and saves Wolverine. Rogue ends up saving two other X-Men, Bishop and Beast. And it was a pretty cool scene where Cyclops is falling out of the sky, and my man goes, "Solid work, team. See you on the ground." And my man takes his visor, shoots that shit down to the ground, and slowly descends down. Now, I've seen it happen before and other things, but it was pretty awesome. It just solidifies, one, how much of a team they are, and number two, it just shows how much of a great leader Cyclops is. And we get to meet my X-Men. They end up going to find Trask, and it's a nice fight scene between the X-Men and the Sentinels. Like I said, Great combo attacks. You guys have seen the clip. It was online on YouTube. You know, Beast takes control of a Sentinel. Rogue fucking RKOs a Sentinel and throws the head at another one. You know, Wolverine's tearing them to pieces. You know, Gambit takes his power. I guess Master Mo ends up standing up and tries to take down the X-Men. And, you know, Gambit does, you know, the thing where he powers up Wolverine's claws and they cut the Sentinel head off. It was amazing. It was a great fight scene. It was a great intro to a show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved every minute of it. It was like they took all the best aspects of the show that we loved previously, the things that we all would love to talk about, and they put them in this one episode. And then, you know, of course, the ending scene comes where, you know, Scott and Jean do admit to the team that they're thinking about leaving, and another leader might need to step up, or someone else might need to step up and take control of the team. I already know where that's going, and I only know where that's going because I wasn't crazy about reading comics when I was a kid, but like listening to the audio drama, I do know something about that is going to happen, okay, but I'm not going to spoil it, all right? So that does become a question. Of course, there is an alarm that says that somebody's in Xavier's office. Team breaks in and finds, you know, Eric Lehnsherr, Magneto, sitting there being cocky and, you know, has the last will and testament of Charles Xavier and basically saying, you know, everything he has belonged to me, my X-Men. Great intro, amazing episode. It took all the best things that we liked about the show and put them on full display. It was like a great, you know, intro to the show. It was a solid intro. You know, much better than some of the things we've seen from Disney Plus in the past few years. I'm not gonna, you know, blow my load over it too much because, you know, we always see they have these strong starts and then later on down the line it kind of falters. I don't know if that's what's gonna happen, but it's a good possibility. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping the show stays strong because, you know, everybody loves the X-Men. And with Deadpool 3 coming out, you know, with Deadpool and Wolverine and them redoing the MCU, we're going to get more versions of the X-Men soon. And this will be just a great intro to get people amped up for that. And hopefully the changes that we see starting on this show will be changes we see for the years to come. But that was my review and, you know, my spoiler review of X-Men 97, To Me, My X-Men. I am going to be doing the next episode here soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Later, guys.